Moshpit Passion, for the passion of music.
Herzlich willkommen hier bei Moshpit Passion auf YouTube. Ich bin der Kario und heute ein ganz besonderes Interview. Und zwar haben wir hier den lieben Band von Royal Blood hier. Der ist uns live zugeschaltet. Die Band veröffentlicht genau heute am Freitag ihr neues Album Typhoons. Wir werden so ein bisschen darüber sprechen, aber auch natürlich, wie die Zukunftspläne der Band ist, weil natürlich über allen steht leider Covid und ja, wie man da das Album promotet aktuell ist natürlich sehr, sehr schwer. Aber es freut uns umso mehr, dass wir hier bei Moshpit Passion dieser Band eine Plattform geben können, welche zusätzlich gleich noch eine meiner Lieblingsbands ist. Und ja, die erste Frage, Ben, die ich dir stellen möchte, ist ja gerade wegen der Pandemie, heute ist der Release-Tag. Wie feiert ihr denn überhaupt? Kann man überhaupt feiern? Ist das für euch eine Option? Was habt ihr euch da ausgedacht?
Well, I am going out for dinner with my friend Michael later, with our ladies, and we are then going, there's a few places in Brighton where we're from where there's going to be projections of our album artwork and things going on, and we're going to go and visit them. But yeah, it's going to be a quiet one. We've got lockdown restrictions going on in the UK still. We're not going to go too wild, but it is time to celebrate because we've worked so hard on this record over the last couple of years, and it's finally out. And yeah, we're really stoked that people can hear it, and we're getting great responses from it. So yeah, it's wicked.
Ich habe euch 2017 in Köln gesehen, im Luxor. Das war damals eine kleine Promotour und ihr habt den Laden echt abgerissen und danach seid ihr im Herbst nochmal wiedergekommen, habt den größeren Hallen gespielt. Ist sowas auch gedacht, wenn die Pandemie vorbei ist?
We would like to play any kind of gig, to be honest with you. Right now, no one's played any live music to an audience in over a year. So yeah, we'll take anything. We've got the biggest shows we've ever done lined up for us, and we've got a few festivals this summer in the UK. But apart from that, we're just going to take every day as it comes. And yeah, I think we'll play some smaller venues to get us going, maybe. But there's nothing planned yet. We're just kind of working out what we can do.
Ich möchte so ein bisschen über das neue Album sprechen. Und zwar ist es so, Mike hat ja in einigen Interviews gesagt, den Weg, den er in den letzten Jahren eingeschlagen hat, der war für die Band, sagen wir es mal so, etwas suboptimal. Und wann hast du persönlich gemerkt, okay, den Weg, den er eingeschlagen hat, das hat jetzt einen Einfluss auf die Band, da müssen wir uns mal hinsetzen und darüber sprechen?
It was more of it kind of crept up on us, and it's a lifestyle that we were living, that we were very used to. And when you're living that, sometimes you don't realize how destructive you're being to your body and to your head. And doing that every day can take a toll on you. And Mike got to a stage where he didn't see it going to a great place. He wasn't coming out a great place with doing that, and decided to make the change to stop. But it was only once he stopped really and got sober is when we saw how much of a difference it made to him creatively to write the album, and physically, because he's on a real great health kick now, and is running and boxing and wakeboarding and doing all this stuff, which is obviously a lot better for your body.
War das auch einer der Gründe, warum ihr gebraucht habt, 4 Jahre das Album tatsächlich zu veröffentlichen, oder hat auch da die aktuelle Pandemie eine Rolle gespielt?
Many reasons. I think the first being, once you release your second record, you've got a lot of touring to do, and you want to give it a lot of space. You've been really creative in that process, and it's now time to tour, and you do a big touring cycle, which could take up to 3 years sometimes. For us, we toured it for about 2, and then got on with this second record, and it it takes a while to find what you want to do with the next record, and it takes some searching and a lot of mistakes along the way and a lot of experimenting. And once we had found kind of the sound that we wanted to do and we were in recording, then we got hit with a pandemic, and which then obviously slowed down the process again.
Interessant, dass du ansprichst, dass ihr an eurem Sound gearbeitet habt, an einem neuen Sound zu der jetzigen Platte. Und was mir aufgefallen ist, es ist ja doch sehr, sehr, sag ich mal, groovig und tanzbar. Und du hast ja selber gesagt, ihr hattet da Einflüsse wie zum Beispiel Daft Punk. Habt ihr euch dann aktuell auch dann wieder die älteren Sachen von Daft Punk angehört, oder war das dann so ein natürlicher Prozess, den ihr im Hinterkopf hattet?
It was always something that a type of music that we loved, and growing up, it was kind of in our DNA, you know, listening to those Justice and Daft Punk records growing up and being in indie clubs and dancing along to them. And so it was kind of letting more of that influence into our music and bringing that out a little bit more. And it just felt, for us, it felt like a fun move. It felt like it was very close to what me and Mike love anyway. So it was quite natural to do it.
Hattet ihr zufällig so einen Schlüsselmoment, wo ihr gesagt habt, hey, das ist genau die Richtung, da wollen wir jetzt hingehen?
I think when Trouble's Coming came along, it hinted at this 4 on the floor beat and these string parts and production that we had never done before. And so that was kind of a blueprint. But then it wasn't until we were writing Typhoons and Limbo where everything kind of came together and it all made sense. And all these songs were backing each other up sonically.
Was ich besonders mag, ist das Artwork der neuen Platte, weil es spiegelt genau diesen Disco-Groove wieder. Und mit welchen Künstlern habt ihr zusammengearbeitet und wie hat sich das komplette Artwork entwickelt?
Yeah, I think we were searching for something that, for one, wasn't monochrome. You're going to hear Royal Blood in color, and it had these kind of vibrant disco elements to it. And we also wanted to reflect lyrically the typhoon type thing and this circular motion of kind of repetitiveness. And because a lot of the lyrics are quite psychological about things going on in being trapped in your own head and not feeling like you can get out of a certain situation or something, and just keep coming back to it, which is why the circle thing is kind of cool. And it looks like a disc. It's like spinning. And we just thought it was a great representation of the music.
Was ich immer sehr, sehr gut finde, ihr habt echt einen super, super Fanservice. Was meine ich damit? Zum Beispiel, eure letzte Platte konnte man schon kaufen im Zusammenhang mit einem Artwork und Autogramm für einen regulären Preis, oder auch die neue Platte, da habt ihr alle möglichen Bundles, eine reguläre Vinyl, eine CD oder auch Tapes oder ein Special Vinyl und auch immer irgendwie mit euren Autogramm darauf. Und ist sowas für euch auch wichtig als Band, dass ihr den Fans etwas mehr gibt, als was man sonst von einem Künstler erwarten kann?
The fans are what drive us really and what bring everything together, and giving. It's nice to have little touches of things that are different as well, like even the colors and extra songs or posters, sign things. And it's just variation really. And like, people still buy CDs.
Yeah.
And it's great to be able to think about that and producing them. And I think a vinyl for me it's just such a great thing to hold. And it's obviously when you're listening to something on a streaming site, that all the artwork is so tiny and stuff, but to have something fold in your hand that you can really appreciate and look through and spend a bit of time, and just even the physical thing of holding something is, I think, something that we lose in the way we listen to music nowadays. And there's benefits of both, but I think it's great to be able to give fans collectors things, you know, to go on, and they're all limited edition like stuff. So it's it's great. I think obviously buying into the band and buying a vinyl is something that really helps us. And but alongside that, I think seeing reaction on social media is great, and seeing the reaction to our music and what it's doing to our fans is so nice. And I love, like, just on like Twitter or something, seeing people sharing the vinyl that they've just got in the post, and that like just seeing that for me excites me, because I remember doing that to bands that I like. And so it's just a real nice thing to do for both parties, I think. And I just hope people really enjoy the record. I think, you know, we've worked really hard on doing something a little bit different to what a normal Royal Blood record would sound like, and I think people have really appreciated it and shown their appreciation by supporting us by buying records and sharing it on Instagram, whatever.
Nun ist es so, durch die Pandemie seid ihr ein bisschen, ja, wie soll ich sagen, ein bisschen gebeutelt, dadurch, dass ihr das Album ja nicht so wirklich supporten könnt durch Live-Shows, und hat sich dadurch auch, sage ich mal, euer Fokus ein bisschen verändert? Normalerweise sage ich jetzt mal, eine Band wie ihr, die würde sagen, hey, wir würden gerne auf Platz 1 gehen oder wir möchten die größten Festivals der Welt betouren, aber es geht ja nun mal nicht. Sind jetzt andere Dinge mehr in den Fokus gerückt, wie zum Beispiel, dass ihr sagt, so, hey, wir möchten so viele Alben irgendwie verkaufen, dass wir mit der Produktion, dass wir die wenigstens bezahlt bekommen? Wie sieht es da bei euch aus?
I'm not really sure. I think we've achieved all that we wanted to achieve already with producing this record and being at this stage of release. I think music can bring a lot of joy and a lot of hope, and putting this out, even for the 36 minutes that you listen to it, I hope it just takes you away and makes you feel something, at least, whatever that might be. But for me, I feel quite euphoric listening to this album. Although the lyrical themes can be a little bit darker at stages, I feel like the music is so uplifting and so exciting, really. And it's like an antidote for what's going on at the moment. So I believe like we've achieved all of that already. And the next stage would be to play it live around the world.
Sehr, sehr interessant, dass du gerade das Live-Thema ansprichst, und ich hoffe, es ist okay, dass ich so ein bisschen so ein paar Sachen dir entlocke. Zum Beispiel, wie muss ich mir das jetzt vorstellen? Royal Blood live. Ich meine, ich habe euch ja, wie gesagt, 2017 erleben dürfen in einem kleinen Club. Nun seid ihr noch mal eine Ecke größer. Und ja, soundmäßig ist es ja alles mehr so Disco-Musik. Und wenn ich an Disco-Musik denke ich an verschiedene Lichter, an Tänzerinnen und auch die elektronischen Elemente. Wird das dann mit einem Gastmusiker begleitet?
I mean, we've had to, after recording the record is our next thought, really. Normally, with the first two records, we really thought about that before we recorded it. And with this one, we threw that rule book out the window and we're like, let's really let ourselves go in the studio this time and not worry about, we'll worry about it afterwards. And full well knowing that that there's a lot more going on this record, but also that we're a band that prides ourselves on playing live music, and we don't have laptops or click tracks or anything of that going on. So it's, well, how much can I do myself with these sounds? And is it good enough, me doing it? Are we lacking something else? So we've tried a few different options, a few different things, but we've already trialed and tested having backing vocalists with the second record live, and it worked really well and really brought those songs to life and did the recordings justice. And with this one, we're going to do the same kind of thing, really. We're going to have one of our mates come and play some keys bits for the songs that need those things. And it's just great having human energy on that stage that comes and plays that live, you know. It's just that there's, you know, we don't want any ego or any rules about Royal Blood. We don't want like someone playing it off in the behind the stage. You know, if you're playing that part's meant to be there and it's meant to be heard and seen. So yeah, we'll just see it, you know, whatever feels right really at the time. But we're having a lot of fun rehearsing these songs and getting them, because it's also amazing writing the music and then having someone else who's an absolute pro at what they do come and play it, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, they're like a robot almost. It's like, how has that come from my head and you can just do it like that? And it's just the talent of some of the people that can do these things. So we've got this keyboard player at the moment who's a long-term friend of mine, and he's just picked up everything like that. And it's kind of annoying in a way, because it's like, we've spent 2 years trying to do that, and you've just like come in and all the sounds are perfect. And so, yeah, he's a genius.
So, wir kommen auch schon zur letzten Frage, und zwar, da wir uns Moshpit Passion nennen, hast du vielleicht eine verrückte Moshpit-Erfahrung, wo du selber als Teenager in Pit abgegangen bist, oder vielleicht aus Bandsicht, wo du gedacht hast, so wow, was hier gerade abgeht, das ist komplett heftig.
A great one that I remember fondly is when we were playing in San Francisco, and I could see Lars Ulrich standing by the bar, and I jumped onto the barrier of the crowd and just shouted at Lars, and Lars just ran up and got behind my drums and just started jamming with Mike, and that gave me some time to be in that pit. And it was, yeah, what a moment. Them two just jamming, and I was just crowd surfing with the cymbal, I think.
Wahnsinn, das ist echt eine coole Geschichte. Also ich meine, Metallica-Mitglied zu haben, welches dein Instrument spielt und wo du abgehst. Ich bedanke mich, vielen lieben Dank für das Interview, wünsche euch alle das Beste und ich hoffe, wir sehen uns irgendwann demnächst wieder.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Moshpit Passion, you know, for the passion of music.